A cipher is one of the oldest ideas in secret communication. Take a message that makes sense, transform it through a defined process, and produce something that looks unreadable to anyone who does not know how to reverse it. In cryptography, that process is not random noise or guesswork. A cipher is an algorithm, meaning it follows clear steps. If the same starting message, the same method, and the same key are used, the result should be predictable. That predictability is what makes encryption useful. It lets two people agree on a system in advance and then communicate across unsafe channels without revealing the original message. The readable message is called plaintext. The scrambled result is called ciphertext. The goal is not to destroy the information, but to hide its readable form until the correct procedure is applied to bring it back. In everyday speech, people often use the words cipher and code as if they mean the same thing. In cryptography, they are related but different. A code usually replaces a whole word, phrase, or meaning with another symbol, number, or group of characters. For example, a codebook might say that the letters UQJHSE mean, proceed to the following coordinates. That replacement is tied to meaning. A cipher usually works more mechanically on the message itself. It may shift letters, substitute characters, mix symbols, or process data in fixed patterns. The difference matters because a code depends heavily on a list of meanings, while a cipher depends on a repeatable transformation. If you lose a codebook, the system collapses. If you understand a cipher but lack the key, the message may still remain protected. To understand ciphers, start with plaintext and ciphertext. Plaintext is the message before protection, a sentence, a password, a document, or any data in a readable form. Ciphertext is what comes out after the cipher has been applied. Good ciphertext should not reveal the original message to a casual observer. It may look like random letters, numbers, or digital data. But hidden inside it is all the information needed to recover the plaintext, as long as the correct method and key are available. This is a crucial point. Encryption is reversible by design. It is not the same as deleting information or permanently damaging it. A secure cipher creates a controlled barrier. Without the right access, the message appears meaningless. With the right access, the original meaning returns. The key is the part that makes a cipher flexible. A cipher algorithm can be public knowledge, but the key changes the exact behavior of that algorithm. Think of the algorithm as the lock design and the key as the specific piece that opens one lock. If everyone had to invent a new cipher every time they wanted secrecy, communication would be slow and fragile. Instead, modern cryptography usually assumes that the method may be known, while the key remains secret. This is powerful because a well-designed cipher does not depend on hiding the algorithm itself. It depends on making the correct key extremely hard to guess. In older terminology, especially in intelligence contexts, a key might also be called a cryptovariable because it varies the cryptographic operation. Some famous classical ciphers show the basic idea in simple form. A Caesar cipher shifts each letter by a fixed number of places in the alphabet. If the shift is 3, A becomes D, B becomes E, and so on. At Bash reverses the alphabet, so A becomes Z and B becomes Y. ROT13 shifts letters by 13 places and is often used as a simple text obfuscation method rather than serious security. These examples are easy to understand because the transformation is visible. They also reveal the weakness of simple ciphers. If the pattern is small or obvious, it can be broken quickly. Still, they are useful teaching tools. They show how a cipher can preserve the structure of a message while hiding its readable form through a defined rule. A cipher becomes stronger when the possible keys become too numerous to test easily and when the output gives away as little structure as possible. If a cipher merely replaces each letter with another fixed letter, patterns remain. Common letters, repeated words, and sentence shapes can leak clues. This is why frequency analysis could break many classical substitution ciphers. Modern encryption is designed to resist that kind of pattern hunting. It spreads the influence of each part of the plaintext across the ciphertext, so small changes in the input can produce major changes in the output. The deeper idea is confusion and diffusion. Hide the relationship between key and ciphertext, and spread the message structure so patterns do not survive in an obvious form. Modern ciphers are often grouped by how they process data. A block cipher works on chunks of data, usually of a fixed size. It takes one block, encrypts it under a key, then moves to the next block according to a chosen mode of operation. This makes block ciphers useful for files, databases, and many structured digital systems. A stream cipher works more like a continuous flow. It generates a stream of key-based data and combines it with the plaintext as it arrives. This can be useful when data comes in steadily, such as in communication channels. The difference is not about which is automatically better. It is about how the cipher handles information, in fixed blocks or as an ongoing sequence. Another major category is symmetric encryption. In a symmetric key algorithm, the same secret key is used to encrypt and decrypt. If Alice sends Bob a protected message, both Alice and Bob need the same key, and nobody else should have it. This makes symmetric encryption fast and efficient, especially for large amounts of data. The challenge is key distribution. How do two parties safely share the key before they use it? If the key is stolen, the protection fails. Symmetric systems are like a locked box where both people own identical copies of the same key. Very practical, very fast, but only secure if the key remains private and is exchanged safely in the first place. Asymmetric encryption solves a different problem. Instead of one shared key, it uses a pair of related keys, one public and one private. The public key can be shared openly. The private key stays secret. In many public key systems, a message encrypted with the public key can only be decrypted with the matching private key. This makes it possible for someone to receive confidential messages without first sharing a secret key with every sender. The public key property is important because one key can be revealed without destroying confidentiality. The two keys are mathematically connected, but the system is designed so that deriving the private key from the public key is computationally impractical. In practice, modern secure communication often combines both symmetric and asymmetric ideas. Public key cryptography can help two parties establish or exchange a temporary secret. Then fast symmetric encryption protects the actual data. This hybrid approach is common because asymmetric operations are powerful but relatively expensive, while symmetric ciphers are efficient for bulk encryption. When you visit a secure website, send encrypted messages, or use many modern apps, there is often a negotiation behind the scenes. The system authenticates parties, agrees on keys, and then protects the data stream. The user may only see a lock icon, but underneath that simple symbol is a carefully layered cryptographic process. A secure cipher is not just about secrecy. It also depends on correct use. A strong algorithm can be weakened by bad keys, reused keys, poor random number generation, or careless implementation. For example, if a key is too short, attackers may try every possibility. If a system reuses certain values incorrectly, patterns may appear where none should. If software leaks timing information or stores keys poorly, the mathematics may remain strong while the real system becomes vulnerable. Cryptography is often described as a chain. The cipher, the key, the implementation, and the user behavior all matter. The algorithm is central, but it is not the whole security story. The big idea behind a cipher is controlled transformation. It takes meaningful information and places it behind a mathematical gate. Codes replace meanings. Ciphers process messages through algorithms. Keys personalize the transformation so that knowing the general method is not enough. Classical ciphers show the concept in a visible way, while modern ciphers apply the same principle at enormous digital scale. Whether data is handled in blocks, streams, shared key systems, or public-private key pairs, the purpose remains consistent: keep information useful to those who are authorized and unreadable to those who are not. That is why ciphers sit at the foundation of digital trust, from private messages to banking, identity, and the secure internet itself. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.